Welcome back to the Alta Via 2, where you last saw us above San Pellegrino. Day 5 passes above Lago di Cavia, climbing over Forcella di Pradazzo, descending to Passo Valles, then ascending to Forcella Veneggia and Passo di Veneggiota. A crumbly traverse and an aided climb lead us to Rifugio Mulaz. From there we climb steeply on screes to Forcella Margherita and Passo delle Farangole, then descend towards Pian dei Cantoni. On day 6 we drop down and climb again to Rifugio Rosetta. From here it's a steep descent, a protected traverse to Passo del Bol, dropping to Rifugio Pradidali, and a tough ascent to Passo delle Léde. The trail plunges past Bivacco Minazio, winding through the woods and finally down to Rifugio Treviso. Let's go!
All ready to go?
Let's go.
Leave no trace. We didn't put that log there. Right. There's our path. Up that way. And away.
Morning of day 5, just gone 6:30. Just look at this. Coming over a top and another view.
The hike to Passo Valles is beautiful, especially in the soft early morning light. Wildflowers everywhere and not another soul in sight.
Passo Valles 2032. There's a Refugio here. There's a bus stop here. A Trentino bus must come here.
Well, I think that's why this is an option.
Yeah.
The next few stages are quite committing, but if you prefer to avoid the exposed terrain that lies ahead, this is a good chance to catch a bus out. These are the pale mountains of St. Martin, Pale di San Martino, and over the next few days we'll be right in the heart of them. The stretch from Passo Valles to Rifugio Mulaz changes dramatically along the way. It begins gently through beautiful meadows before climbing over Forcella Veneggia and Passo di Veneggiota. Then as the path turns a corner the landscape shifts. It's a place to stay vigilant and watch for loose rock. A crumbly traverse is followed by some aided scrambling until another call is gained.
Oh my, it's there.
Finally, a short descent brings you to Rifugio Mulaz.
That came very quickly. The Refugio, way ahead of time.
It's not too bad, that, was it?
No, it's very, very good.
Very straightforward.
Yeah. We're headed next, Forcella Margherita, up the zigzags.
Beyond Forcella Margherita, the scrambling gets tougher. The path crosses a large, loose scree basin, then climbs to an aided section to the left of a loose gully. It's confusing, and initially we were drawn into the gully. We corrected our mistake, but a couple of others tried to continue up the gully, showering large rocks down.
Just came up there. Next valley, next descent after the tortuous scree. Just look at that tower. What a landscape. There's Sue. Just gonna come back round, and that's what we've just come down. A moment ago there's a black cloud over there and we're getting a bit worried.
After a steep descent, the path makes an exposed traverse of the mountainside, with more aided sections and an interesting wriggle through a chimney where rucksacks had to be removed and lifted out to one another.
There's Fat Man's Agony. She had to take her rucksacks off to get through.
By now the rumbling of thunder was becoming hard to ignore, and we were delighted to find the perfect place to pitch the tent.
I've just come across from there. Just give you a little look around at our surroundings. We did consider the bivouac. We pushed on, but now if you look down the valley, it's a downpour. Anybody going the other ways might be getting caught. Our path's heading that way, but we spotted a previous bivouac shelter that somebody's just taken in here. So as a result, we've decided to take this as our pitch for the night.
We've even got shelter under there. That's lucky.
And this is where we've pitched up above the rock faces. It's quite some bivouac.
And chaos, we've just thrown everything inside.
Dive in before the storm hits. It was raining as we were putting the tent up, but it's gone over for now. So I'm just enjoying a little bit of a respite outside, because if this rain does hit, we might be walled up in the tent for the next few hours, or possibly even till tomorrow morning, and that's a long old night. But we'll see. Nearly 3 o'clock now.
Sheltering in the tent. It's red hot, isn't it, Dave?
It's warm. It sure is.
I'm trying to.
Litre of water to last till tomorrow morning.
I'm trying to capture the sound of the thunder, but unfortunately, I've just missed a clap of thunder. I'll try later.
Ominous. We've got the tent up.
Just missed the lightning flash.
The cloud has dropped and swallowed everything up. And we're in it. Ooh, some cloud rolling in.
If we don't drink any more of this water, we've got 2 full litres for tomorrow, haven't we?
You could lick the water off the tent.
So we've got loads of croissants, but we need those for breakfast.
So our tea
Cereal
consists
bars.
of nuts.
Nuts and cereal bars and Haribo.
There's a beetle there. I think we can eat him.
No. Well, Dave, it's 10 to 6, and we've eaten our tea, which consisted of Haribo, lots of nuts, and some cereal bars. But we did have a bit of pizza from last night's restaurant, so we haven't exactly feasted. But it's all we've got. We've just kept enough back for breakfast. So recap time. Here, last night has to be mentioned. We had a bit of a discussion because the weather forecast has been poor. There's been thunderstorms forecast, as you'll see in the video. And we did actually discuss escape options and buses and what have you. Serious conversations about whether to go and even spend a couple of days in a campsite and rejoin the route. So what we decided in the end was to get up very early, because the weather's usually good in the morning, and see if we could get to the furthest possible point in the good weather before we had to make up our mind whether to continue or to bail out.
So we ended up completing stage 7 and all but 45 minutes of stage 8.
Stage 8!
So after all the deliberation, we just completed nearly 2 full stages of the Alta Via 2. Well, today we did the Valles to Rifugio Mulaz, which was pretty straightforward. A few exposed sections, but there was a guy coming up behind us with his German Shepherd who seemed to be having great fun on it. So
it was easy, wasn't it, really?
yeah, it was alright. And then it sort of changes after the Mulaz. And stage 8 was the Mulaz Refuge to the Rosetta, which is 3+, and
a little bit more tricky.
Yeah, it's steep from the Mulaz to here. After the first Forcella, there's another climb up, and there's a scree-filled gully to the right, but what you've got to look out for on the left edge is the aided section. There was a group of 4 Americans who just got into the scree and started showering rocks and stuff down on each other.
Easy mistake to make, we nearly did it,
yeah.
But we realised.
We saw the cables on the left.
Scrambled back down.
Then there's a difficult descent through a lot of scree, and then there's a really exposed traverse to get to here.
And here we are.
Probably worth mentioning the weather. You get bad weather forecasts, and so far we've been quite fortunate in that it builds up. There's a bit of a storm. You might get half an hour of rain, and then it just seems to go back to being blue skies again. It certainly has at the moment. But
well, let's keep our fingers crossed, because we think there's not such a good forecast for tomorrow.
No.
But we'll see what happens tomorrow.
It's worth saying every single night, this is the 5th night, we've had a thunderstorm, apart from the first night at the Ploughs. Flashing lightning, thunder, rain, every night in the early hours.
See you in the morning.
Morning on day 6.
Don't wanna sleep tonight at all.
The sky's red. Red sky in the morning, shepherd's morning. Sun hasn't quite risen yet, and that's the view around.
Just to be seen.
There's Sue just coming towards me.
Morning.
Fire breath and open sky. It's not what we know, it's where we go.
Sunrise on day 6. Sun's just hitting the peaks at the Camp Under.
Oh, it's not what we see.
Nearly at the Rosetta now. It's just up there, puffing and panting a bit, whether it's effort or maybe a little bit of altitude, I'm not sure, but the sun's about to pop over the horizon just over there. Beautiful. And there, lit up by the sun, we can see our camp spot now.
Hey, just around about there.
What a oh, this is joyous.
Nowadays there's nothing I wouldn't do.
Here's the Rosetta. Oh, here's the Rosetta, take 2.
Here's the hut. Rosetta.
Rosetta.
Hey, Rosetta.
Hey, you win, Sue. The Italian.
I grow wings and tell one goodbye. It's not what we see, it's what we choose to be. We're beyond good. I've never been so ready. Fire breath and open sky. It's not what we know. It's
For a bit of mind sweeping for breakfast. Vegans. Lots of food left on the table, so while there was a bit of chaos, I snaffled some bread and jam, and that was our breakfast this morning. So free breakfast. We did better buy a coffee and some water, I will add.
It's not what we know, it's where we go.
Go across the screes section.
We're headed down this zigzaggy path.
It's what we choose to be.
It's been dropping down those zigzags. It's a fell runner heading up. He's running up, and we're going across there, sort of around the edge of this buttress next. We just come across the path there. There's the way down to San Martino. Look at these towers of rock. Just shows you that there are places to camp should you get stuck, which was dropped from the refuge by about an hour, and suddenly you get a bit of a green area. Path to San Martino, so possibly escape route there if you wanted it. Public transport and things from that location. On our way up to Passo Ball. Looks like a bit of a ball perched on top of that rock in front of Sue. Don't know how someone got that up there. Yeah. been left by a glacier and just happened to be deposited right on top of there.
Passo Valles.
We reached the Via Ferrata, Clytus Stag, which goes across this exposed ledge. Passo Valles 2443, and down there's the refuge. Clouds already today, and it's just gone 9 o'clock I think. There's beautiful flowers that's hide in these little cracks in the rocks. Rifugio Picalilli, so we'll put the proper name up. And here's the next Clytus Stag, Ferrata, on our way to Léde. Well, that's up, and here comes Sue. Passo del Léde 2695. Alta Via 2. The typical descent. We've just come down from there and we're headed towards blue skies, which is good. We're onto a bit of grass now. The path is no longer like builder's rubble. Oh well, it is, but not quite as bad as steep as builder's rubble as it was before. And in front of us is the bivouac,
Very cheerful.
which I forget the name of. It'll appear somewhere down here on the screen. Bivacco Minazio. Here we go. Have a look in here. It's just arrived just as the rain's starting. And here we are.
Just got here in the nick of time. That's quite heavy. I don't fancy going more of that descent in this weather.
Well, you can maybe hear that off the roof. We just arrived at the refuge and there's hailstorms coming down at the moment out there. There's a real deluge. That's a big, big downpour. We felt about 3 hailstorms just as we got here, opened the door, and this is what's happened.
After an hour and a half, the rain stopped, so down we went.
We're just descending. We put waterproof so we can hear thunder and a few drops of rain. But it's hot, it's humid, the path's greasy, and yeah, we've got about 50 minutes down to the Refugio. Doesn't matter really, those rocks over there look alright. That side, yeah. when I get a wash here. And here we've had a wash. All washed. Toast ahead. We're headed to the refuge now, going back up in this woodland, having had a wash in the river. First time for Sue in 6 days, first time for me in 3. Anyway, we both feel a lot fresher for that. Nice to get your body cleaned up again after such a long sweaty descent. Past 7:07.
20 minutes that way.
Okay, 7:07. Alta Via 2. So, Rifugio Treviso. There it is. Well, light. That's all this then.
Booked into a refuge.
So let's leave it here with a couple of beers and a roof over our heads. I hope you've enjoyed the scrambling and the Pale Mountains. If so, do give me a like and join us next time for the final episode. Be assured it's not going to get easier. So until then, cheerio!